Hello, my name is Pat Bowes, and I'm the Executive Director of SCAN, and this is Welcome to SCAN. Today, our show is the second show in the series of shows that we will be doing to address the storms that we have experienced over the last several months, and also to talk about the recovery process and who's available to help, and to make sure that we become a trusted link between the community and the service providers. So I am very pleased to have with us as our guest today, Tim Hearne, who is the President and CEO of the United Way of Monmouth County. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
I'm really pleased. We've met in other circumstances throughout the last couple of years, and now you're here.
Thanks for having me.
So what I really like to do is, before we get into the issues of recovery and this lessons learned and all of the other kinds of resources available, I really would like you to talk about United Way of Monmouth County and what it does and regularly, and also how it works within the community.
Right. Well, the United Way of Monmouth County is the local affiliate of the United Way of America. We are the largest philanthropic organization in the world. But locally, the United Way of Monmouth County is run by a local board. The funds we raise is used locally, spent locally. And our mission is to improve the lives of the people of Monmouth County by embracing the caring power of the people of Monmouth County. The people of Monmouth County are taking care of the people of Monmouth County. We focus on three areas: education, income, and health. We focus on improving child's education experience, improving people's health, and improving a family's financial stability and independence.
And you've come up with those three main issues during a process that you've done or adopted several years ago.
Yes, we did a community needs assessment and looked at the needs in the community, and we'll use the term unmet needs, and we'll use that later when we talk about the impacts of Hurricane Sandy. But we're looking at trying to fill the gaps in the needs in the community. In income, we're working on financial stability. And what we're trying to do there is, in our financial stability program, is not only provide the emergency assistance for people, rent, utility, mortgage payments, food for helping them get through a crisis, or money to help them get through a crisis, but we're providing case management services so that they can break the cycle so that they don't have to come back. And they can no longer need our services or other social services agencies in the county. We have a story of Amanda, who was in school for a nursing program, but did not have, lost her job. And as a result of her job, there was no money management training. She could not meet her monthly bills, not making enough money, obviously meet ends meet. So we brought her into our program and taught her the tools to manage her career, manage her budget. And now she has graduated, has a job, and she's financially independent. So it's more about income is helping them get through the crisis and teaching the skill sets needed so that they can operate financially independent and live a stable lives. In education, we work on a bunch of programs. One is a high school to career college transition program. We've worked on after-school programs, and we are soon starting our K-3 early grade reading program. You know, a child in his up to 3 learns to read, and then after the fourth grade, they are reading to learn. Wow. So that's a critical time that by the time they get to fourth grade, they have to learn to read. And there are tons of studies which says how critical that is to their achievement, not only short-term, but high school, college, and career. Just that earlier learning grade read at the 3rd grade level. And in Monmouth County is a very wealthy county, but there are pockets of disparity in income and education. You can look at the early grade reading scores in Fairhaven and Red Bank, and there's like a 50% difference. Why? Shouldn't happen. So we're working with the school districts that have lower, you can match their socioeconomic skills and their education scores. And those are the 5 to 10 districts in the county that we're focusing on in education. And then in health, a couple programs. One is dental care. I mean, A couple of years ago, there was a study which gave the state of New Jersey an F on its dental care programs for children. And we have a program in daycare centers and in early grade schools to provide an examination and fluoride treatment, varnish, to take care of the child's dental care. But we're finding 60% of the kids have to go to a dentist to get real dental work, and nobody wants to go to school with pain in the teeth, right? I mean, that's just you got to stop that.
Yeah.
So that's in health, and we work on a program, our early high-risk behaviors. Kids, high school students in Monmouth County, 80% of them reported they've used alcohol in high school.
Wow.
20% have shown up in high school drunk.
Wow.
So we have targeted high-risk behaviors with several programs in the county to try to teach the kids that maybe that's not the right thing to do, and that they're really trying to focus them on more positive activities.
Now, I know that you are located in the New Jersey Natural Gas building.
Correct.
And I know that you host a lot of training or informational sessions for not-for-profits
Yes,
throughout
we do.
the year.
Yep.
So besides directly funding and
Right.
supporting, you do other stuff in the community.
We have training programs for our nonprofit partners. We have meetings with the executive directors of the nonprofit community to share information, and because we're all very busy in our work and focusing on our clients. But the information sharing that they provide and learnings, it's pretty interesting. When we go to those meetings, I always look at how many people are writing notes down, and that's an indication. And people are usually taking notes. So, we have listservs where people share information.
About 5 of them, because I think I must get them
yes,
all.
yes. And we, as a result of Hurricane Sandy, we started Rebuild, or listservs on Rebuild Monmouth, and for people to share information just specifically about the hurricane. But one of the things we do, besides our focus on education, income, and health, is how you're going to make the improvements in education, income, and health. And we have an engagement strategy, which is give, advocate, volunteer. That through those 3 things, we can make a difference in education, income, and health. And give is obviously, you got to have financial contributions to help make these type of programs we run. Advocacy is the United Way is the second largest funder of health and human services in the country. The largest is the federal government.
Wow.
And obviously by a factor of 10 or whatever factor you want to use. So we have to advocate for changes in government policies and institutional changes to really make sure that the right policies and procedures are in place and the right programs are being funded that make a difference in our community. And then the last thing is volunteering. We have the Volunteer Center in Monmouth County. We provide training for our volunteer managers. If you go to our website,
Which is?
uwmonmouth.org, and click on volunteers, you come to our volunteer site. And on that site, you can register as a volunteer. You can go through and find non-for-profits that are looking for volunteers to volunteer. If you don't find a job, there's a list of obviously non-for-profits you can reach out to because there's something you like to do and you want to reach out to that. So we have hundreds of opportunities on there, and this is pre-Rebuild Monmouth. We'll talk about
Exactly.
Rebuild Monmouth a little later. But,
and SCAN is on there, and we're always looking for volunteers to either work here in the organization or do special projects with us. So yes, please, who's ever listening or seeing this show, go there and find potential opportunities.
Well, I can tell you've been successful with volunteers. You got a ton of volunteers I hear taping the show today. In the normal course of business, that is the avenue for people to volunteer in Monmouth County. And money and advocacy are not going to do it alone. People's efforts and work, no matter doing what they're, with administration work or mentoring or tutoring a child or reading to a child or helping out with the animal shelter or packing food at the food pantry or helping the kids at Ladison, whatever your needs and interests are, there is an opportunity for everybody to give back. through our listing at the Volunteer Center.
And I'm sure as a result of the Superstorm Sandy that we have been hearing about, that volunteers have probably been flooding your website and coming to your office with wanting to give or help in some way or other. So while that is wonderful, sometimes it becomes a little overwhelming too. And people go away sometimes probably a little frustrated that they're not being put to use immediately. So running volunteer programs are wonderful, but also challenging.
That is an excellent point. The estimate from FEMA is over 10,000 homes were destroyed. We're not going to fix them it's going to take us years to fix them. So there will be, while people have this urge to volunteer today, we are going to need volunteers for years to help rebuild Monmouth County. So ask them to be patient. Obviously, in the initial impacts of the hurricane, it's not a safe place to volunteer yet. Right? So you have to bring in, you have to be a trained volunteer to go in and to do the mold remediation, to do the muck outs, to make the place safe. And then after that is complete, there will be plenty of opportunities for people to volunteer to help their neighbors rebuild their lives as a result of Hurricane Sandy.
So before we take a break, tell us again, how does one get in touch with United Way of Monmouth County?
Well, please call 732-938-5988 and ask for the Volunteer Center. And you can volunteer as a regular volunteer, or we are obviously taking names for volunteers to help out in the rebuilding of Monmouth County.
Okay, great. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in a minute. Thank you.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Welcome back. My name is Pat Bowes, and we are talking with Tim Hearne, who is the CEO, President of United Way of Monmouth County. And I am really excited to continue our conversation because I want to talk now about the most recent situation that we are facing and lessons learned as far as the last 3 months that you've experienced. And then I want to really share with our viewing audience the wonderful tool that's out there for everyone to use.
Great, thank you very much. Great to have you. Hurricane Sandy, lessons learned after just a few couple months. I would think the first thing is that people should remember that they have to be prepared personally. Take the heed of the government warnings and the weathercaster warnings and be prepared. Make sure you have the water and make sure you have the battery packs and you got the gasoline and your gas up your car, and be prepared for a long term of living maybe not in the ideal conditions. And that would be from a personal point of view. You can always go to the Red Cross, and even the 211 website, we'll talk about that, has preparation guides for individuals, households, to really get ready in case another one does hit us. The other biggest lesson learned from us is, well, for many people in the county, at all levels in the county, this is the first hurricane in our lifetime.
Exactly.
And we are, or have learned, a lot about hurricanes and the aftermath of hurricanes and the work and the resources available throughout the country. There's been a tremendous outpouring of resources throughout the country. We've been getting calls from church groups throughout the country saying, we want to come up over the weekend or next week, and where can we go and what can we do? And people are, a lot of those people are coming from areas that have been hit before, and they're paying back. They're paying back for the work that we've helped during their hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that.
Well, besides a personal issue in regards to families being ready, I found it very interesting about not-for-profits. I mean, and not having a disaster preparation plan.
Right.
And,
right.
you know, an emergency
Right.
situation. I mean,
Right.
here at SCAN, we were out for 7 days.
Right.
The mall had no electricity,
Right.
which was a little mind-boggling in
Right.
regards to how does that happen.
Right.
And frustrating because I really
Right.
wanted to get in touch with all of our members to make
Right.
sure that they were fine and
Right.
do whatever we could.
Right.
But so it's lessons learned not just for individuals and families, but also for businesses who've been
Right.
really hit hard here.
Right.
And then also not-for-profits who provide the service that we've been talking about
Right.
for the last
Right.
2 months.
Right.
About what do we do? I
Yeah.
mean, so instead of just sitting and
Right.
being frustrated. So I'm really thinking that this was the warning stop.
Right. The advice to update your business continuity plans. Maybe the businesses and individuals and non-for-profits will heed those warnings and update their business continuity plans and review them at least annually.
And maybe we'll do a show on that because
That
I
sounds
think
like a
it's
plan.
really important.
Yes, it is.
So with that said, I really want to spend some time
Right.
on this wonderful resource
Right.
that has been around for a while and
Yep.
that you have been intimate with as
Yes.
far as the creation of it,
Right.
the expansion of it, the marketing of
Right.
it, and it's called 211.
Yes, it is. 211 is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week informational referral service. 211 is a nation, covers approximately 90% of the country, and all you have to do is dial 211. Or you can go to the nj211.org and go to the website. But it is the connection point between individuals who have needs and don't know where to go, and they connect them with their resources, nonprofit, governmental, whatever, in the community, so that they can get their issues taken care of, whether it's food or food pantries, job assistance, daycare, adult daycare, instances of crisis. Child is going through a crisis. Where do I get the counseling? Those type of things that a lot of people, are not prepared for. It just happens. And then, who do you call? Well, you call 211. And we have trained counselors on the phone who will take your call and will offer you 2 or 3 referrals to agencies that specialize in your situation. And they'll spend some time trying to go to the root cause. The initial issue maybe I'm having trouble meeting my mortgage, and you do a call, and maybe it's a job issue, maybe it's an alcoholism issue, and try to get to the root cause and try to make sure that the person is sent to the right type of agencies to do that. So 211 is statewide in New Jersey. It is a very large organization that is there to help people connect with resources that exist in the community.
And United Way and other United Ways have been really very instrumental in making sure that that worked here in New Jersey and that it continues to work. I shared with you a wonderful compliment that I just recently heard
Right.
from the national speaker for the Red Cross saying that your 211,
Right.
New Jersey, is
Right.
probably the model program nationwide. And
That's
so
great.
I was very proud to hear that. I'm sure you are, in regards to it being so inclusive
Yes.
and having lots of resources available.
Yes.
So I do know that there is a manual. Maybe you would like to
Right.
share.
So as part of, you go to nj211.org, and there's a resource page. And on that are various resources, manuals for various things, jobs. But there's always an updated resource page whenever there is a disaster. And we updated and prepared a 50-page resource guide for Hurricane Sandy. And that provides information on how to file your claims, the process for filing your claims. It has things about how to properly clean out your house, how to do mold remediation, and how much an individual should do mold remediation, and when
Versus not.
versus not. And unless it's a very small piece, you should not be doing it because you have to have the Trivex suits and you have the air respirators and stuff like that. So it talks about some of those issues and other resources in the community to help you deal with a a crisis such big as Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, I did spend some time reading this last night, the 50
So did I.
pages. But I have to tell you, after reading it, I was so much more informed, especially about the role of FEMA
Yes.
and what they do and what they don't do.
Right.
I was really very pleased to see that it talks about immediate assistance and then
Yes.
long-term assistance.
Yes.
Because once the immediacy is over, which
Right.
we're kind of
Right.
at that point,
Right.
meaning that
Right.
people
Right.
are someplace,
Right.
now the work really starts.
Absolutely does. Going back to the, hopefully everybody has filed their FEMA claim, because if that is not enough resources, there are SBA loans, 2% up to 30-year loans to help people recover. But then we realize that those programs will not meet all the needs in the community. So there is a long-term recovery committee formed in Monmouth County. And that committee is a combination of all the nonprofits, government agencies in the county, and a lot coming from out of the county, who are providing resources and businesses to help meet the needs in the community. So we will look at a case-by-case basis of individuals who have needs, making sure that they filed their FEMA claim, their flood insurance, and they've done their SBA loans, and have reached. And then if they still have needs, rebuild a house, apartments, roof, whatever those unmet needs are, then they'll reach out to their long-term recovery committee, and working with the nonprofit and government agencies in the community, try to find the resources needed. One of the things I learned, and I've learned a lot in this hurricane, is the amount of national organizations come support within days after the hurricane. Habitat Humanity, the national team, came in to help their local affiliates and have committed to being in the county for 5 years.
Okay, the thing I wanted to talk to you before this show ends is I know that there is a rebuildmonmouthfund.org,
Yes.
so tell us about that and how
Right.
people can help with
Right.
that.
So United Way, as being a local entity in the county, has started Rebuild Monmouth to have funds available to, again, meet the unmet needs of the people who are impacted by the hurricane. That fund will be utilized to help meet the unmet needs, help nonprofits rebuild, and hopefully do some donations management as far as tracking of goods and services that we receive. So we ask people who have the resources to help their neighbors rebuild from the impacts of Hurricane Sandy by going to rebuildmonmouth.org and making whatever financial contribution they can. There's no administration fee, and we are dedicating all those funds received from individuals to targeting to help their neighbors in the county recover from the impacts of.
Great. The other thing is I just wanted our our viewing audience to know that also in the 211, it really represents the whole state of New Jersey, so there's information for every county.
Absolutely.
Ocean was, again, severely affected by the storm, so please go to 211 and make sure that you are able to find what you need. We have a couple of seconds left. I wanted to really thank you for coming and being our guest, and we are committed here at SCAN to continue this good information and share it with the public.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
Welcome back. My name is Pat Bose, and this is Welcome to SCAN. I would like to share with you some of the items that SCAN is doing to help in the recovery situation, and also tell you about some of the programs that we have planned for February. SCAN is located in the Monmouth Mall. We're in the basement of the mall, and we have been here for 25 years. This is our anniversary year, so we're hoping that you stop in to see us at any time that you are in the vicinity. But we really are working with all of our partners and all of the partners in Monmouth and Ocean County to do our piece and our share. and we are making our facility available to the public, and especially the senior population, in case they need access to computers and printers, using our copy machine, and also faxing any of the forms that need to go to the insurance companies or FEMA or any of the other assorted list of people who are asking for documentation. So if you're in the mall, please stop in. Please feel free to use our services. We're here to help you. The other is that we also have space available. I know that many associations and organizations have been displaced during this disaster period and recovery period, and we do have space available. We'll be more than happy to try to work with you to provide you the opportunity to have your meetings here in our location. The other is that this is, as I have already said, the second series in the TV shows that we will be producing to help people during the recovery period. We're going to bring you information from trusted resources about what has happened, what you can do, and how you can plan for the future. So please stay tuned and view our shows regularly. The other piece is that on February 14th, Valentine's Day, my favorite holiday in the whole year, we will be having a chocolate tasting workshop. So we cordially invite you to come. That is on February 14th. More details will be available in our catalog, which is available online at www.scannj.com. And we will have lively discussions in regards to Valentine's specials. So please, please come. We are also in the middle of our campus of courses at Boscov Department Store, and we have set up a list of presenters in regards to helping give you good information during this recovery period, especially about insurance policies and claims and what they should be saying in the future from the construction industry, so that you know how to pick the appropriate construction or repair people that might be coming to you. We will also have some workshops in regards to scams and frauds. This seems to always happen after disasters like this happen. People come and they're not so trustworthy. So we will provide you with really good information about that. So please stay tuned and visit us, visit our website, and hopefully this will be of help to you. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our guest, Tim Hearne, the President and CEO of United Way of Monmouth County, and look forward to talking to you in the near future. Thank you.
How to locate Scan. Scan is easy to locate once you find the movie theater at Monmouth Mall. As you enter the parking lot from Route 35, the theater is almost directly ahead of you. Drive towards the theater, but go up along the left side into the parking lot. As you approach the end, you will see entrance number 3 on your right. Park and enter the building here. Once inside, you will see a staircase that only goes down. After passing through the doors at the bottom, turn to your left, and Scan is right there.